finally we have a figure that took me many years to finally complete, and that's the Build-A-Figure of the Marvel Legends from Hasbro, the second wave Build-A-Figure Blob. And he makes a good addition to the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Pretty big Build-A-Figure. He's got more mass to him than height. He's got these folds of fat and wrinkles all over him. I think he's got a pretty good face sculpt. Got big, thick jowls and, again, lots of details for his folds of fat. He's got man boobs. Nice big belly. The paint is alright. He's got like this speckled look to give him, I guess they're meant to be freckles. And he has freckles all over his body. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Let's get into articulation. His head moves side to side. No forward or back movement. His arms pretty much go all the way around. That's as far in as they go, but they do move out. He rotates at the bicep, one joint at the elbow. His wrists rotate, and he bends at the wrist as well. And his fingers are all on a joint together. Upper torso articulation, it goes left and right, no forward and back. His legs rotate, move out and in. His thighs rotate too. They're on a ball joint, but they don't move much because of the sculpt of the leg there. And he has a little bit of toe articulation right there. Here's Captain America next to him. So he is fairly sizable. Now the Blob first appears in X-Men number 3 in 1964. He is a circus performer, grown up as an obese child. He just thinks he's an obese person. And the X-Men come and try and recruit him. He kind of strings them all along for a little bit, but then tries to basically take them over. He was going to try and take over the X-Men and turn them into a criminal gang. Professor Xavier is not going to have any of that, so he erases his mind, wipes his memory clear of the X-Men, and he goes back to being just a regular circus sideshow attraction. Then Magneto comes along and reawakens his memory. He signs up to join the Brotherhood, but that's short-lived, as Magneto really doesn't care about him and actually is going to sacrifice him to destroy the X-Men. The Blob teams up with another mutant called Unis, and they start a gang together. They become good friends. They actually join the Factor 3 together, another bad mutant organization, which turned out to be actually run by an alien. The Blob ends up in prison and serves out his term for a long time. And he shows up when, towards the end of the run of the John Byrne run, he's actually busted out of jail by Mystique and joins her Brotherhood, staying with that group when the government takes it over and it becomes Freedom Force. Now, the Blob lost his powers on M-Day when the Scarlet Witch took away about 90% of the mutants' powers. So while his powers left him, all the fat and extra skin that was involved in his powers stayed with him. So he had all these folds of loose skin. So for a while he's like this very odd looking person, shrunk down to normal size but with all the same amount of skin. Somehow he manages to get rid of all these folds, and he becomes a weight loss guru in Japan. You might take a look at him and think that he's just a big fat lump, but his powers, his mutant powers, give him increased strength and a form of elasticity. What I mean by that is his body will absorb damage, so he's tougher than he looks. And another part of his power is he can somehow will himself to be immovable, rooted to a spot. So there have been instances where people have tried to lift him from the ground, and the actual ground has stayed stuck to his feet, but he has not moved from the ground. He is literally an immovable object. It'd be kind of neat to see, I don't think it's ever happened, but it'd be neat to see the Juggernaut, who is an unstoppable force, against the Blob, the immovable object, and see how that would play out. So anyway, he's not one of my favorite Build-A-Figures, but I am glad to have him. Like I said, he makes a great addition to the Brotherhood setup, and you know, he is kind of cool just to have, because the novelty of the size and shape of the character. So, is it worth it to get all the figures for him? I don't know. I really do not like the X3 movie figures from this wave, and there are 3 of them, I think. Yeah. Now there's 2 of them, and the Ultimate Wolverine was a really bad figure. I've not reviewed that yet, I don't think. He's an okay Build-A-Figure. I'll just leave it at that. So anyway, this guy's finally done, and put him next to Magneto and Mystique and Pyro, and we'll have a nice Brotherhood setup. So until my next review, see him.